We'll talk about punching just from the standpoint of like setting up kicks and stuff like that, but I really just want to focus on like kicking styles, variations, and then also just like combining them together as well. I'm a big kicker. Anyone who spars with me knows I use my kicks like some people use their hands. So that's kind of the point of today. So if you have any questions, today is all about technique, and it's all about just like feeling more comfortable with kicks, walking away with some potential stretches, mobility stuff that you can do at home to kind of improve your kicks as well. Very often in classes, I feel like I'll get asked about like hip mobility and like flexibility. My background, I grew up dancing. I was on like my high school drill team, so did a whole bunch of different stuff. And so that's a lot of where my style comes from, is like why I like kicks too. I'm used to using my legs. That's what got me interested in kickboxing in the first place. And so these are just some stretches that, again, you can do at home. But we're just gonna start, just find an even stance, legs underneath you, and then just swing your arms out side to side and let your hips come with you. So it's totally loose, but getting some rotation in our spine. Couple ones here. Yeah, and just really shifting your weight left to right. And again, letting that hip come forward. We're gonna be using our hips so much today, as it is where most of our power actually comes from. So we are arguably gonna talk about hips more than legs. So we wanna get those active and feeling that transfer between the sides of our body. So speaking of hips, we're now gonna do hip circles. So just pick up your knee, we'll go to the outside first. So just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we'll close the door. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we'll pick up the other leg. Go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then close the door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're gonna just put our hands on our knees and just wiggle them out. Our knees are super important. Obviously, they help stabilize us. We're just getting some motion in them for the weekend. It kind of feels weird. It looks kind of weird, but it does work actually. Also warms up our ankles too. Now just straddle out, fold to the middle. Try to put your hands on the ground if you can. If not, just let your body weight hang. You can also just do that, generally speaking. And just feel that nice stretch in the back body, back leg. I always say this sport, I feel like I'm always tight in my back body. So this always feels really great. All right, so now I'll drop into a runners. So just bring one leg forward. Don't really care which one. I'll face you guys this way. But just try to get your heel underneath your knee, like not like this. Have it be directly underneath or even out. And then just really, if you can, lift up and sit into that stretch so you can really feel it on your hip flexor. We'll be doing some various hip flexor stuff in this section, and so I want you guys to really feel that stretch across the top of your hip here. So now we're gonna drop our knee to the ground, and same thing. So you can put your foot flat, keep this leg as is, and really just press your hips forward. I don't want you to arch your back like so. I want you to really think about tucking like your lower abs and tucking your hips underneath you so you can really feel that stretch here. It doesn't look like I'm getting as much of a stretch like on my thigh, but if you really tuck your hips, you'll feel a really deep stretch in this hip flexor. This is really important for our teeps, which we'll talk about, but when it comes to like extension, that's gonna come from our hip flexor here. And it should hurt a little bit. hurt in a good way. It hurts me. All right, so now we'll jump into runners on the other side. Again, same thing. As deep as you can. All right, drop that knee down. Again, think about keeping that spine neutral or tucking it in versus really letting it arch back, and then feel that nice stretch in the hip flexor. All right, now we'll drop to the ground. I just want you guys to find a Z sit. So you can do one or the other, doesn't really matter here. But with both legs bent, you're just gonna kind of put your hands backwards. All we're gonna do is flip our knees up and over. Just do some little rotations here. Bring your knees side to side. Really try to land flat. And again, letting our hips come up and move with our legs. And then we'll land in one of them. So I have my right leg behind me. And all I'm gonna do here, so I have my left leg in front, like parallel with my hips. And all I'm gonna do is start to lift up the leg that's behind me. So I just wanna lift it up and then put it down. Just lift it up, put it down. You should feel you have a certain level or barrier that you hit here. Do 4, and we'll do 5. So now I just want you to switch over. So bring that other leg in front of you, and same thing. And you might notice, like, I have less flexibility on my left leg, which makes sense. My right leg is my dominant leg, so I have a little bit more mobility on that side. I think that was 5. This might be 6. And then next, we're going to come back to our knees, basically. This is kind of like, not an awkward stretch. I know, Casey, you do this too, but essentially, I just want you guys to spread your knees out as much as possible and just put the weight on your forearms and just really sink into that middle stretch. If you were like aiming to be able to do the middle splits one day, this would be a good one. This is for like kick height. So like, I wouldn't say that the head kick or kicking the head is necessarily about like your hip mobility so much, but it's just about this flexibility kind of with your knees spread out. And I kind of like to rock back and forth a little bit too, within reason, not pushing it. All right, last thing we'll do. This is one that I found that I really like, but essentially with your knees out, which this is basically the seated version of how we kind of end up in our round kick. So what I want you guys to do, I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see. We're going to come up, and again, I don't want you to have your back arched. I want you to tuck your hips underneath you. You can see that difference, right? This is a neutral spine. This is me tucking my hips forward. So I'm bringing like my pelvis forward. And with my pelvis forward, I just want to come up and just hold this position. So with my knees out, really bring my hips forward, tuck my butt underneath. And again, we're gonna feel that stretch in our hip flexors. This is pressing our hips forward. This is what we want in our round kick. Like with our round kick, our knees are out, and we want our hips pushing that power through the pad or the body if you're kicking a person, obviously. So hold that. Really, really push. It hurts me. This feels so good. It hurts so good. And sit back down. Give it a rest. And we'll do one more. So again, just come up. If you're like, Sydney, what the heck? I don't feel anything here. Again, just like think about bringing your pelvis forward, just tucking your butt underneath you, and you'll feel that stretch in the hip flexors with the knees spread. It's a little bit different than what we were doing earlier. All right, cool. So that's all we're gonna do for stretching, but again, if any of that felt good to you, feel free to do that at home. But that should help us for the rest of today, because again, you might be a little sore in your hip flexor, which is totally fine.